A man who stabbed another man to death in a ferocious attack in an Aberdeenshire town has been jailed for the minimum of 17 years. Luke Allen, 29, and his brother Ethan Carlisle, 23, had denied pursuing and repeatedly striking Andrew Ross, 52, after he tried to carry out a robbery in Peterhead's Ives Road in February last year. After a 7-day trial, a jury found Allen guilty of murder and convicted Carlisle of a reduced charge of assault. Allen was jailed for life at the High Court in Aberdeen and was told he would have to serve at least 17 years before he can apply for parole. Carlisle was sentenced to 300 hours of community service and 1 year's supervision. Judge Buchanan said it had been a ferocious and sustained attack. Relatives of Mr. Ross described him as a loving father and said his murder had devastated the family. The court heard that Allen had a significant criminal record, while co-accused Carlisle was a first offender. Allen's defence counsel, Brian McConaughey, KC, said the incident had begun when Mr. Ross went to Allen and Carlisle's home with the intention of carrying out a robbery. The two brothers chased Mr. Ross from the house before carrying out the fatal attack. Mr. McConaughey said Allen had found it difficult to come to terms with the fact he was responsible for taking another person's life and had been convicted of murder. He said his client, who has a son, would try to reset his life while in custody. The court heard Carlisle was distraught at what had happened. Neil Beardmore, defendant, said that his client's error had been getting involved in a fight to try to help his brother. Judge Buchanan said he was satisfied there was an alternative to custody for Carlisle, who had been convicted of striking Mr. Ross once on the leg with the knife as he tried to escape. The judge told Allen that CCTV showed he pursued the deceased and subjected him to a savage attack with the knife. Judge Buchanan said it had been grossly disproportionate response. The two men had gone on trial in October. Advocate Deputy Lindsay Dalziel, prosecuting, told the court that police had found Mr. Ross lying on the road, unresponsive and bleeding heavily after the attack. Detective Constable Kim Duncan of Police Scotland said CCTV footage appeared to show Mr. Ross being struck several times by men who both looked to have objects in their right hands. She said Allen could be seen using a punching or stabbing motion. Detective Constable Duncan said Carlisle also began to strike towards where Mr. Ross was lying. The court heard CPR was attempted, but that it was unsuccessful. The jury's deliberations lasted more than 5 hours over 2 days. The victim's mother, Kathy, said in a statement, Andrew's murder has devastated the whole family and everyone who knew him, especially his daughters, who have lost a loving father. He always had a smile for everybody and was soft-hearted. We'll never come to terms with what has happened, but we are glad justice has been done for those responsible and will face the consequences. Detective Inspector James Callender of Police Scotland previously said, throughout the investigation and court process, Allen and Carlisle have shown little remorse for their crimes, and I hope these convictions give Mr. Ross's family some form of comfort as they continue to grieve their loss. Please like this video, please comment, and don't forget to subscribe to my crime channel. Thank you.